Hello, and welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is the 24th of August. Should be a really good stream. Obviously, we're going to be talking about important stuff today, as always, with the markets and talking a little bit about what's coming. A lot of people are wondering, hey, the markets are starting to go up, but a lot of people are still kind of wondering if they should buy or wait to buy. So we're going to talk a little bit about really the best things to be doing in the market right now to make the most money and really capitalize on the movement in the market. Because to be honest with you guys, the market is constantly producing opportunity to make money in it. The question is whether you're willing to actually take that opportunity, whether you've let yourself be blinded by other people's opinions, people that don't know what they're talking about, or whether you're actually going to seize that opportunity and take it and really make the most of it. So yeah, we're going to be talking about how to take advantage of the market opportunity, which there is a lot in the markets right now. Probably a lot more than people realize there is, especially since a lot of times a crash like this happens and people just start making very bad decisions because they don't understand the nature of markets. And that's totally okay. Everybody's starting at different levels of knowledge. Everybody's trying to do the best they can. But at the same time, we're going to talk a little bit about how to look at the market and how not to get wrecked. Basically, how not to panic sell, because a lot of people are doing that right now. And a lot of people did it down here in the dip. A lot of people are waiting for another low. And yeah, it's just not going to happen. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So welcome everybody to today's live stream. Thank you for tuning in. As we go throughout the live stream, make sure that you're requesting your favorite altcoins and requesting coins that you want me to run over and asking any questions that you have throughout the period of this 1 hour, give or take, live stream. So yeah, it should be a good day. We should learn a lot. And yeah, let's talk about the crypto markets. So the correction. So we did have a summer correction. Ethereum did pull back down to 2,300 per coin. It did do an ABC correction, and it did everything that we were looking at the start of the summer. Yes, I did start buying a little bit early right here near this support level, and then I bought more down here when we hit this lower low. A lot of people don't understand the concept of buying into red candles and selling into green candles. However, that's just part of the game. A lot of people are still learning. A lot of people don't know how to play these markets and how to look at them. And emotion is a very real thing. People, when you're working with money, a lot of people have loss aversion. So they don't want to have a loss. So they're more concerned about not having a loss than they are about making a gain. And that's okay because, well, it's not okay to have that mindset completely, but it is okay to understand risk management, right? You need to be able to manage your risk. The only thing is a lot of people confuse risk management with panic selling. They think, oh, well, the market went down. I'm scared that it's going to go lower, so I better manage my risk and sell. But that's not risk management. That's stupidity. And no offense to anybody that did it, but when there's a dip in the market, that's where the pros are buying, right? That's where the people that actually know what they're doing are picking up coins. Why? Because they understand the opportunity of buying blood in the streets. But most of the public doesn't understand that opportunity. Most of the public sees a dip in the market and they think, oh, it's going to go lower. Or, oh no, I don't want to lose money. So they sell because they think they're exercising risk management when really they're being subjected to their emotions in the market, or they're listening to other people that have no idea what they're doing. And because of that, they make really bad decisions. So don't sell into dips. That's exactly what people did right here. They sold into this dip. When Ethereum went from 4,700 down to $933, a lot of people sold into this dip down here, right? Because again, people always expect another lower low. That's when the bottom is in, you're always going to see a whole bunch of people on Twitter and YouTube and wherever you're looking at your analysis, you're going to see people drawing another low. You're going to see people saying, oh, it's time to be short. You got to be short in the markets. They try to get smart after a massive correction. They try to be smarter than they are. And they start shorting bottoms. They start going into cash near bottoms because they're expecting another low and they're scared that if it happens, they're going to lose money, right? So it's a form of risk aversion which is non-beneficial to your trading and your investing. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you guys tuning in to today's stream. Thank you for taking a minute to tune in today. All right, so let's talk about what kind of a correction this was. Because I was calling for this correction. Again, I started buying a little bit early, but I knew a correction needed to happen on Ethereum when everybody else was FOMO buying up here at 3,900, expecting us to break all-time highs and go to the moon because of the ETF, right? They were trading with their emotions. So let's talk about this correction that happened over the summer correction here on Ethereum. And again, I want to reiterate the point that I added to my Ethereum position down here when Ethereum hit 2,300 per coin. So even though I started buying near support, where everybody else was buying near resistance, I bought support again. Because the first rule of trading and investing is to buy support and sell resistance. And when Ethereum was up here at 3,900 per coin, everybody was buying resistance, expecting a massive breakout. But look at all the resistance that there was in the market up here. Look at all this resistance. There was a lot of resistance here. There's a lot of resistance here. There's a lot of resistance here. There was resistance here. And yet everybody was trying to buy that resistance level. Right? So of course the market came back down to first this support level where I started buying at, and then this one where I added to my position. And I did call this crash at the beginning of the summer. I told everybody, you guys are way too FOMO, you're getting greedy, and you're buying too high. Right now, Ethereum's still low. I started buying at this support level. It's worth 2,700. Yeah, it came off of its peak low at 21, but it's still undervalued down here. We're actually on support levels now. So it's actually a really good time to be picking up crypto. A lot of people are like, oh no, we went up a little bit. Am I FOMO buying? No, you're not FOMO buying. You're still buying in a dip. I mean, look what just happened. That's a massive correction in the market. Buying right here is like buying like right here. Yeah, you're not buying the exact bottom of the entire correction, but you're barely buying a little bit higher than the bottom. That's the same as buying right now. So let's remove all the drawing tools and better express this. So this is an ABC correction on Ethereum, where Ethereum went from 4,700 per coin all the way back down to $933. Okay, a lot of people did not buy the exact bottom, but even if they would have bought right here, a little bit higher than the exact bottom at like 1,500 per coin, they'd still be getting in way early before this whole bullish move happened. And the same is true for Ethereum right now. Again, we have an ABC correction, a smaller ABC correction, and a lot of people, maybe you didn't get the exact bottom, but if you buy right now, even though the market moved up a little bit, you still have all of this entire recovery that's about to happen on Ethereum, where you're going to print money along the way up. So now is the time to be bullish on these markets. The markets are showing strength. We just finished a correction. A lot of people are getting too greedy. I see a lot of bears starting to think that it's going to go really low. And even people that aren't shorting the markets are scared of it going lower, so they're selling and drawing charts of it going to another low. But they don't understand cycles. And let me show you what I mean by that, because an ABC correction is a bearish cycle. So a bullish cycle, a bearish cycle, a full cycle is both a bearish and a bullish cycle, but an ABC correction is a bearish cycle. That's what we just happened on Ethereum. Now, do you buy at the bottom of a bearish cycle? Yes, that's exactly where you buy. That's what happened right here. Again, to reiterate my point, Ethereum went from being worth $4,700 up here all the way back down to $930. Of course you buy at the bottom of the correction. That's where all the pros buy. That's where all the people that have their head on straight buy. Right? Of course you do. Even if you get in a little bit late, even if you buy a little bit high, if you're buying in the dip rather than selling into the dip, you're thinking like a professional. That makes you a professional trader. If you can buy where other people are fearful, where they're panic selling, where it's undervalued, you're a good trader and investor, period. And right now, Ethereum is still undervalued, not only in terms of where it's going to go throughout the rest of the bull market, but even in terms of where it's been in the short term, right? Because right here at 4,200 or 4,100, right around 4,100 per coin right here, it was short-term overvalued. And now down here at 2,700, it's short-term undervalued. So people that are buying right now have their head on straight. These are the people that actually have a brain, that are actually thinking clearly. They're not panic selling. They're not drawing massive bearish charts. They're not perma-bearish. They actually have their freaking head on straight. So the name of the game right now is to be buying crypto. You need to be long crypto if you want to make money in this recent correction. And it's just, this correction is going to be short-lived. It'll be like a blip on the chart. One day, and I can promise you this, one day you're going to come back and you're going to look at this chart and you won't even remember, or it will seem just so small and so insignificant that this correction over the summer even happened. You're barely even going to remember. It's going to look so small on the chart. And by the way, this is a complete perfect fractal repeat of what happened to Amazon. Okay? So markets are fractal in nature. They're self-consistent across all time frames and all markets. It doesn't matter if you're trading crypto, Amazon, it doesn't matter if you're trading gold, silver, all of it is self-consistent across all time frames. What does that mean? Well, basically that means that they repeat. Now, perfectly every time? No, I like what Mark Twain said, where history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Now, sometimes that rhyme is so close that you can barely tell the difference. Like if you say dog or hog, it almost sounds the same, right? And that's also true for markets. You're going to see market cycles where they're extremely similar, but of course there's differences. There's subtle differences, but they're there. That's the same thing when we study these markets. And again, it doesn't matter if you're trading silver, gold, crypto. Literally doesn't matter what you're trading. You're going to find that self-consistency across all markets in all time frames. So over here we have Amazon on the right, and we have Ethereum over here on the left. Okay? Now you can't tell me that this isn't the exact same human psychology. This is the internet bubble right here in the early 90s, where people got too excited about the internet and it had to crash really hard. It dropped 99%, almost 90-something percent. Let's see here. 93% from its peak down. Actually, probably closer to 94 because I didn't click the exact peak. 94% down. Look what Ethereum did. 82%. Very similar type of just brutal correction that happened after Ethereum got overvalued. So again, internet bubble right here. Crypto bubble right here. Now, what everybody talks about on the news, what everybody talks about on CNBC or whatever, if you go back and watch YouTube videos about what happened during the internet bubble, everybody talks about the bubble popping. But what nobody talks about is the recovery that came after. Nobody talks about how the fact that after the internet bubble popped, the internet became mass adopted, and that technology became something that everybody used. And that's why there was such a powerful recovery. But everybody likes to focus on the fear. Everybody likes to focus on the fact that the markets crashed after the internet bubble. Nobody talks about the fact that every single one of those stocks that had real world demand and value recovered and saw massive gains, just completely obliterated their old all-time highs, and the internet became mass adopted. It became a mass adopted technology that everybody used. Now, again, the same thing is true for crypto. Everybody likes to talk about the crypto bubble, pop, but nobody's talking about mass adoption right now unless they have their head on straight. And that's kind of rare, right? It's like they say common sense is not that common. That's so true. The crypto markets are headed into mass adoption right now, right as we speak. And yet people are still in a fearful based mindset. They're not seeing the value of cryptocurrency. They don't see the long-term value, but crypto has an insane amount of long-term value, not only in the near future, but across time, right? The jack is out of the box. It's like the internet. The internet isn't going anywhere. That technology changed the face of planet Earth forever, and crypto is doing the same thing, but only people that know what's about to happen have their head on straight and can actually see it. Only people that have their head on straight can actually see, oh, look, Ethereum can do a big V-shaped recovery. Why? Because markets are self-similar across all time frames. Crypto is getting ready for mass adoption, just like what happened to the internet after the internet bubble popped. Again, everybody focuses on the pop. Nobody focuses on the pump that came after the pop. And by the way, the pump that came after the pop was bigger than way bigger than the internet bubble pump in the 90s right here. That was so short-lived. That internet bubble pump in the 90s went up and it popped right away, just like crypto in 2021 and 2020, right? We went up and we popped right away. But what came after? Let's look at what came after. So look at what came after. Everybody talks about the pop, but look what came after. The bull market that came in the internet and internet-based companies after the internet bubble pop occurred was 100-fold bigger than the entire bull market that happened in the 90s. Nobody talks about this. Look how big and expansive that cycle that came after was with the internet. We're still increasing. Look at this massive V-shaped recovery here on Amazon. Okay, we're probably at the midway point in the cycle where we go into euphoria and have a blow-off top between now and 2030 with Amazon. And crypto is following the world markets. In other words, the world markets are going to keep pumping until like 2030. Crypto is following right behind. So crypto is getting ready to do that mass adoption phase while the stock market goes into a blow-off top. That's what's happening here. And yet everybody's fearful. People don't see what's coming. They have the whole world hypnotized, right? And I don't like to use the word they. I don't really like, it's just everybody says stuff like that. Oh, they're out to get us. They're out to blah, 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 right? But listen, the mainstream media does not want you to know that crypto is about to go into a mass adoption phase. Institutions are picking this stuff up like crazy. They're buying it like nobody's business. ETFs are getting approved, and yet people are fearful. What does that tell you? People are trading based on emotion rather than common sense, which is not that common, right? That correction here on Ethereum over here on the left and Amazon over here on the right is the exact same human psychology. We are getting ready to completely obliterate the old all-time high on Ethereum, and yet most of the market is fearful because they don't know what they're doing. A lot of people trade based on emotion, based on other people's opinions. They don't actually know the laws of markets and what pros use. And pros use technical analysis, the exact thing that we learn about in all of these live streams that I teach you guys as thoroughly as I can, so you can learn how to see these fractals, learn how to see the structure in the market, and actually print money. Where everybody else is fearful or everybody else is greedy, you're printing money. You're printing money the whole way. Why? Because you got your head on straight. Let's see how the stream is doing. What's up, DeMarcus? Velo? Yeah, I'd absolutely... We'll talk about Velo and JASM and Bitcoin Cash here in just a second. But yeah, you guys, don't be an idiot. I'm saying that lovingly, like as a friend or as somebody that wants to see your success and wants to see you make money, because guess what? As you make money, that's good for me too. If my customers, my viewers, my people get results, that's good for me. I'm going to tell you the truth as I see it to the best of my ability. And I'm telling you right now that these markets are way, way bullish. Don't be scared to buy. We barely moved up off the lows. Imagine buying Amazon right here at $2.56 per share. That's exactly like buying Ethereum at $2,700 per share. And by the way, the market cap increase that's about to happen on Ethereum is going to be very similar to what happened on Amazon from 2008, which this is 2008 right here, by the way. From 2008 until now, where Amazon just completely obliterated old all-time highs, blew people away. People don't understand. They don't ever see the value of something before it's cool to see the value in it, or before the majority of people see the value in it. And by the way, if you follow the crowd, you're going to be led to the slaughterhouse. If you follow the herd, you're going to be led to the slaughterhouse. And most people did not see the value of Amazon.com in 2008. Almost nobody did. Smart investors did. Why do you think there's billions of dollars in volume? Just like what's happening with Ethereum. Billions, as Donald Trump would say, billions and billions and billions, right? There's billions of dollars in volume in crypto right here, right now. Just like what happened during the internet bubble recovery. Bitcoin, Ethereum, crypto is on a path for recovery. Billions of dollars have been going into this market. It's going to freaking skyrocket. I don't care who you are, what you say, crypto is going to blow people away. The question is whether you're going to ride it or not. Question is whether you're going to get rich or whether you're going to get regretful to your own decisions. That's the question you have to ask yourself. It's literally the only question, because it's going to blow people away. All right? I can guarantee it. So get ready, because crypto will blow people away. But again, people did not see the value of Amazon.com in the early 2000s. But now that everybody uses Amazon.com, of course people see the value in it. But people don't have the vision to actually see things before they happen, because they're cynical, right? And cynicism is one of the fastest ways to avoid being successful. One of the fastest ways to screw up your chances of getting rich. Why? Because here's the truth. The world is in a growth, as a people, as planet Earth, things are only going to get better from here. Yeah, of course, there's going to be crazy stuff that happens. There's always both sides to every coin. There's good and bad out there in the world, of course. But the world's only going to get better from here overall. So don't even for a second think that the opportunity isn't here to get rich in crypto and a whole bunch of different other industries as they're developed, as they grow, and as they expand out. All right, we're done talking about this. Just understand now is the time to buy crypto. If you're not buying it right now, you're going to wish you had, period. Okay, period. Now let's run over some coins that you guys want me to talk about. Okay, Velo. Yeah, let's talk about Velo. I actually really like this coin. This is one that's going to completely blow people away. If you don't know, I am bullish on Velo. I did call for a bullish breakout on my Twitter recently. So if you follow my Twitter at highaltitudeinv, you'll see that I was looking at this Adam and Eve double bottom pattern. We broke out of the neckline here. Let's look at this example of it. You can see we have a downtrend in the markets. We have the Adam part, then we have the Eve part, and then we break above the neckline. Most often there's a retest of that neckline. You can see that's exactly what happened here. We broke above the neckline. We came back down to retest it. And now Velo is getting ready to break out bullish here, continue to break out bullish. This was our first signs of what's coming, where we broke the resistance of this neckline right here. We're going to continue to break out bullish and push up to new local highs. Just exactly as you can see right here, this example of an Adam and Eve double bottom pattern. In the Adam and Eve double bottom pattern, the reason it's called an Adam and Eve double bottom is because one side is a triangle and one side is a circle. And generally speaking, we tend to think of hard edges to be more of a masculine structure, like squares and triangles. And we tend to think of circles and ovals to be more of a feminine type structure, right? So that's why it's called Adam and Eve, because the Adam part is a triangle and the Eve side is more rounded, right? So that's why we call it the Adam and Eve double bottom. Now we break bullish out of the resistance of this pattern and we come back down to test it as support. That confirms the breakout. This means that the probability of Velo going up to a new local high and starting to see a big picture reversal here is very high. Why? Because, by the way, if you don't know, in the Discord, go join the Discord. If you're not in the free Discord, link in the description box below, join the free Discord. There's a section in here called Knowledge and Links. If you click on this right here, you're going to see a little link says Top Trading Patterns. Inside of that document, you're going to find all of my top trading patterns, all of the best setups in the market. And I've made a lot of these charts myself. And it just really helps you understand these markets. But just one of the things that you're going to find in that trading plan, in that trading pattern document, is a whole list of different trading patterns. These trading patterns have statistical probabilities. We're not gamblers. Casinos just drive me nuts because I've only gambled like twice in my entire life at a casino. The stupidity of people that go buy lottery tickets and go to casinos, it is like the most ridiculous thing ever to somebody that knows trading and investing, because when you're trading and investing, you're working with probabilities. When you're gambling, you're not working with probabilities. You're working with probabilities against you. The casino always wins over time. It doesn't matter if you have $1 billion or $1 million. If you keep going back, the casino is always going to beat you. Why? Because the probability is not in your favor. Traders, professional traders and investors, look at that as pure stupidity. Why? Because if you look, we trade based on statistical probabilities, right? The reason I knew about Pepe way early on, before it broke out, before everybody was talking about it, before anybody was really talking about Pepe, way before it pumped, I told everybody to buy Pepe on my YouTube channel because of an inverse head and shoulders pattern that has an 83% statistical probability. Okay, So the idea of buying something with a probability that isn't in your favor is ridiculous to me. That's the definition of gambling. You are literally betting with odds that are not in your favor. Trading and investing is taking calculated risk. Calculated risk means you have to understand the probabilities of these things if you want to make money. All right? And here's the deal. Double bottom pattern has a 79% statistical probability in your favor. 79%. All right? This has a ridiculously high probability that it will break above this local resistance level and go higher. And by the way, you can stack probabilities. So we have a 79% probability of the double bottom pattern, but we have other patterns on Bitcoin that are bullish. So that leads us to believe that the rest of the market will be bullish. So that increases our confidence on the double bottom pattern also playing out here with Velo. So don't shoot in the dark. A lot of people treat this like they're gambling, like it's just money, like, yeah, of course you want to trade with money you can afford to lose, of course. But don't treat this like you're gambling. Treat this like a real thing. You need to have a real strategy. You need to have understanding of statistical probabilities. You need to be buying people's fear and scaling out into greed. And right now, people are fearful, not greedy. All right. So that's my view on Velo. I do think we will break higher. There's a high probability that we do. Very high probability. I'm not going to fight against odds. That's what people do at casinos. That's why they can turn $1 million into $10. Right? But if you want to become a professional trader, you can turn $100 or $1,000 into $1 million. I made just shy of $1 million, right around there, at 21 years old, starting with $1,000. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do in these markets. I'm 27 now, and I've learned even more since then. That's not what people at casinos do. All right? So that gives you an idea of what we're doing here. You got to have a real strategy, a real trading plan. You need to understand the trading patterns. You need to understand the LA waves. You got to really actually know what you're doing. Don't just shoot in the dark. Follow people that know what they're doing, learn from them, and practice, and you'll get good too. All right, let's talk about JASM. This is another coin that I've talked about in multiple different videos on my channel, one I really think is going to do good. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about this setup. So we're going to take it off the logarithmic chart. So this is a very common type of reversal here. After a big correction, the market has to build momentum. So the way that it does that, it actually has to have impulse waves. In other words, you need to make higher highs and higher lows, right? That's the definition of an uptrend. The definition of a downtrend is lower lows and lower highs, right? The definition of an uptrend is higher highs and higher lows. Okay? Now the trend is your friend, but you need to understand reversals, because reversals screw a lot of people. That's why they sell bottoms, because they don't understand reversals, right? But this right here is our first higher high and high probability higher low in a new uptrend for JASM. So we have our first higher high and higher low. Now, one of the reasons I know this is because of Fibonacci. So if we measure from the peak down to the low here, or from the peak low to the peak high here with our Fibonacci tool on tradingview.com, it's called the Fib retracement if you don't know. This 618 level is called the golden pocket. And by the way, this is self-consistent. We've been talking about fractals and how fractals occur in markets across all time frames and all markets. But guess what? Fibonacci is a fractal, and it's also self-consistent in nature. So this is a seashell, and a seashell expands in Fibonacci numbers, okay? And Galileo said that mathematics is the language in which God hath written the universe. All right, so mathematics are self-consistent across all of nature. And you can see that this seashell expands in Fibonacci numbers. You have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, and 13. Those are Fibonacci numbers. But if you look at this, 1618 Fibonacci. Also, a seashell is a 1618. So if you look at a seashell, there's this 1618 level. That's a Fibonacci ratio. It's called the golden pocket or the golden ratio. It's not only found on seashells, but that same mathematical ratio is found in the way that galaxies spiral, the toroidal physics in galaxies. It's also found in weather patterns. So that 618 ratio is called the golden pocket. It's not only self-consistent in nature, but it's also self-consistent in markets. Why? Because these markets move because of law and principle. Nothing in the entire universe moves except unless it's based on law and principle. You know, if you want to learn this, then go jump off a 5-foot ledge and learn what gravity is. Don't jump off anything higher. I don't want to see you get hurt. But you're always going to fall if you jump off a 5-foot ledge. That's law and principle. Okay? All of life, everything that you see is governed by law. It doesn't matter if it's these markets, if it's gravity, if it's, galaxies. I need to show you the galaxy real quick because it's actually really cool. Galaxy. See this? Boom. Fibonacci spiral in the way that galaxies, the toroidal physics behind galaxies is the same as a seashell. Or look at this, weather patterns, okay? 1618. That's the Fibonacci. That's the golden pocket, the golden ratio found self-consistent across galaxies, seashells, sunflowers. It doesn't matter what you're looking at, okay? Even a human embryo in its early stages where the baby is leaning forward. Oops, type that quickly. Here we go. Where this little human embryo right here is also a 1618 Fibonacci fractal. So mathematics are self-consistent throughout all of nature, throughout the entire universe, because God created the universe, and his signature is left there. It's left there. You can see his signature in all things, and that's mathematics. So you can see, especially geometry is my personal favorite kind of mathematics, because it seems so useful and so practical. So that 618 level is an extremely common place for a higher low to form in a new uptrend. So when you start a new uptrend, we have our peak high and our new higher low. That higher low level, that 618 level is most often where that higher low forms before you break out and go up to a new high. You don't believe me? Check this out. I could show you hundreds and hundreds of examples of this exact thing. And by the way, if you're not in on Pepe, we posted a free signal in my Discord. Join the Discord. It's completely free. I told everybody to buy Pepe down here at 0.000000701. Okay? Right before this huge pump. Stop loss trading plan, everything. That's a signal people normally would pay for. And all of my free people in the Discord are making money because of it. Why? Because again, Fibonacci, mathematics, geometry, it's self-consistent. I knew what was going to happen. You're not going to get every trade right, but you're going to get enough of them that you're going to be extremely profitable in the markets. And the way you do that is you understand law and principle. Okay, here is Pepe. And we're going to use a different one because I don't actually want to delete my drawing tools because I have my trading plan tool right there. I don't want to lose that. So we'll use this one, okay? Now, if you look here on Pepe, first of all, remember how we were talking about probabilities in the market? Well, I called the whole Pepe pump right here because of an inverse head shoulders. I made a video, best meme coins to buy And Pepe was in that video and Flocky, all of them were in that video before this pump happened. And one of the main reasons I knew Pepe would pump was this inverse head and shoulders pattern. I made that video right here, by the way. You can go back and watch it. Top meme coins video. Go back and watch it. You'll find it. It's like top 4 meme coins or something like that. And Pepe pumped crazy hard. Why? Because of statistical probabilities. Inverse head and shoulders pattern. We broke bullish, huge pump, right? Again, geometry, self-consistent patterns. Look at this. See this? This is the 618 level. Again, I made another video on Pepe right here, telling people not to panic sell because it was testing the 618 golden pocket, golden ratio that we've been learning about in this stream. And guess what? Pepe obliterated its local high right here and made a new high, completely obliterated that level. Why? Because that's a very common high or low place. So back to JASM, because I'm actually not done talking, we're almost done talking about it. JASM is like buying Pepe at that same point. In fact, we can even compare the two charts together. We'll put JASM right here, and then we'll put Pepe over there on the right. And I'll show you what I mean by the psychology of markets, by the geometry and that self-consistency. It's so powerful. Yes, it takes time to learn it. Yeah, it's going to take some time to learn it, of course. But once you learn how to do it, you're absolutely going to blow yourself away. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard to learn. You just have to take some time to learn it. So this is the first initial impulse in a new uptrend over here on JASM. This is the first initial impulse in a new uptrend on Pepe. They both stopped at the exact same, or they both came back down to the exact same Fibonacci level. You can even see the bullish wick right here, that bullish wick on the bottom of the chart. That signifies that the selling pressure ran out and it was eaten back up by buyers. That's what a wick is. There isn't enough momentum to keep pushing the price down, so it gets quickly bought back up or quickly sold back off, depending on if it's a bear wick like you see up here, where the market's going too high, there's too much FOMO, so there's a bear wick, candlestick wick, or a bull wick, where the market's going down so hard that people are panic selling and there's buying pressure and it buys it back up really quickly and it leaves a candlestick wick right there. So that's called a bullish wick. You can see both of them had a bullish wick at the 618 level. That's the golden pocket, the golden ratio. That's the best place you could, like literally one of the best entries that you could possibly have is the 618 level. It's one of the best entries. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some clarity on JASM. Very similar kind of correction here. People panic selling, people getting scared. First initial higher high and higher low in a new uptrend. You guys get the point. I'm bullish on JASM. We don't want to go too crazy. And by the way, I did make a post on my Discord and in my community section and on my Twitter, my community section on YouTube and on my Twitter, talking about what kind of questions do you have, what problems are you guys running into, getting profitable in the markets, and these are some of the responses. Some of you guys are struggling with staying engaged with the market long term. They can't find enough attention to pay attention to the markets. They're kind of losing interest. That could be, there's a couple reasons why that could be happening. Number one, you're not making enough money, so it's not exciting for you. So you got to learn the tools and start making more money, because once you start making money, you're not going to want to stop, right? So that's number one. Number two, markets are a game of trading money from the patient to from the impatient to the patient. So that's a Warren Buffett quote. And by the way, that works for crypto just as well as it works for stocks. So losing interest is something that happens a lot right before a big pump, because most people don't have the patience to maintain their conviction, to stay bullish, to stay excited about the market, And so they give up right before pump because there is long accumulation patterns. We just had one. We're getting ready to break out of it. But like a lot of coins, like XRP has been in like a 7-year accumulation pattern. A lot of people don't have the patience to sit through that. But it's about to explode. So don't give up right now. So just answer that question. Other people were saying they're not taking profits enough and buying back at lower levels. So the way to do this is to scale out. Don't sell all of your position. When things are pumping really hard, not like right now, we just barely started to pump a little bit. But like early on before the summer started, like May, that's when you need to be scaling out. And I was making videos about selling, letting you guys know it's going to crash. You got to be selling into pure FOMO, not just little FOMO like we see today. This is just getting started. It's not even FOMO. We're going to break out bullish, right? We just had a big correction. You need to be buying the dip. So to answer that question, when a big crash like just recently happens, I know it sounds simple, but it really is this simple. You got to buy. And when you're pumping really hard, like early on this year in May, when people were pumping really hard, you need to be scaling out. You can keep a little in and ride through the correction, but you need to be selling into pure FOMO and buying pure fear. Right now is pure fear. In relation to this local high, the market is still in pure fear. People are trying to short and they're going to get squeezed. So that maybe helps you understand. Just make it simple. When everybody's greedy, be fearful. When everybody's fearful, be greedy. Right now, people are fearful. And you can also look in relation to local lows, right? Like on JASM here, when we were pumping right here, I knew we were getting FOMO. Why? Because in relation to this local low, look how high we'd gone. And right now, people are panic selling, and look, in relation to this local peak, we're significantly down. So you have to think in terms of relation to where you're at in the market and in terms of what you're seeing from a psychological perspective, from a sentiment. What are people doing? Are they fearful? Is the news bullish? Is the news bearish? Because after a big correction, the news is almost always bearish. And after a huge pump, they're almost always bullish. Now, I actually don't look at the news. I only look at the charts. But that's one way that some people do gauge sentiment. Is a lot of times the news will be bullish at tops and bearish at bottoms. And they kind of are a reflection of the general public in a way. But it doesn't always work. Sometimes they're bullish at bottoms and bearish at tops. So don't only use that, but mainly use the general public. That's why I have a Twitter account. For the most part, I don't look at other people's posts on here, but I have a Twitter account so I can really, in a lot of ways, gauge sentiment and share my charts to let you guys know, hey, this is bullish, that's bearish, be ready. I got to check something real quick. Is my stream... I sure hope that you guys can see my new thumbnail. Oh yeah, it worked. Okay, cool. Perfect. So yeah, that helps you understand to answer that question for you guys. A lot of people are dropping out of new projects and they don't find out about new projects soon enough. You got to look for volume. Again, Twitter can help because you're going to see people that are excited about things. Finding brand new projects before they release, that's something where you just got to keep doing your own research and keep looking. Look at new coins that get added to exchanges. Watch them. Pay attention to volume, public interest. You can always go to Twitter and, like, for example, you can type in cash. You put the cash symbol and then BTC. And this is a great way to gauge Bitcoin sentiment, right? Because over here, you're going to get a kind of an idea of how many people are bearish or bullish. It's not always going to work. You're going to find some good traders on here that know what they're talking about, where they're actually bullish. But this is one way to gauge sentiment. Another way to gauge sentiment another way to gauge whether there's community interest on a new coin, is to use the cash tag. Like cash tag WDOG. This is Wrapped Dog. I'm in on this trade right now. This community is crazy. There's so much demand here. So this gives you an idea. This is a new coin. It got added to MEXC, so it's on a major exchange. It's a Solana meme coin. It's not big yet like Pepe or like Dog with Hat or any of the other Solana meme coins. Pepe is an Ethereum meme coin. So this one's early on. This one's new. This is, to answer your question, you can't find new projects and trends soon enough. Wrapped Dog is a new one. There's tons of community interest and demand. It's on a major exchange. You can trade it on Phantom with your Phantom wallet on your phone really easily. This thing is going to explode. So it takes practice, it takes time, but you absolutely can learn how to do this. Now, I'm not going to answer all these questions, but I will go ahead and let you know to go to my community section on Discord or on my YouTube channel and go find that Google form that I made and go fill this out and let me know what problems you guys are having, and I can help address your issues so you can start making more money in the markets. Okay. All right. So at 32 years old, this bull run alone will set me up to retire from the 9-to-5 for the rest of my life and live a long, prosperous life. So yes, if you play it correctly, if you don't get too crazy, you don't start going all in on stuff. If you play it correctly, yeah, this bull run definitely has the potential to set you up for early retirement where you don't have to work for anybody else for the rest of your life. The question I have to ask to you is, when you do retire, what are you going to do with your time? That's why it's fun to have something like a YouTube channel, something to help serve the people, because you're going to have a lot of time on your hands if you just have a bunch of money and nothing to do with your time. Because a lot of joy in life comes from your work. If it's the right kind of work, you're going to get a lot of joy from it. So that's what I'd have to say to Marcus. But yeah, I agree that this has the potential to do that for you. Telcoin, Casper, and Pepe. So, all right. So Telcoin, as you guys know, I'm bullish on Telcoin. We did have a very, very nice ABC correction here. But mainly what I want to point out here with Telcoin is this falling wedge. This falling wedge is super bullish. So watch for a breakout of this falling wedge. We're at major support down here. We have ascending support. Watch for a breakout of this falling wedge on Telcoin. I think we're really going to see a strong bullish breakout on Telcoin, especially as Bitcoin picks up, which it's only just getting started. Pulsex Dog, let's go. Let's do Casper first. So you guys, I'm really people want me to do pulse chain analysis, so I'll do it for you, but I don't hold a single pulse X or anything. Do I think it's going to moon? Yeah. Do I really care about that space anymore? No. I'm just being honest. I don't want to lie to you. I'll do it for you, but I really don't straight believe in it or anything. So do I think it's going to moon because of the hype of crypto? Yeah. Do I think there's a lot better ecosystems and spaces to be in on and to be looking at? Absolutely. Way, way, way better percentage gains and setups than PulseX and the whole Pulse chain ecosystem. All right, so let's go ahead and look over here at Casper. By the way, thank you for tuning in, Conscious Contact. I love your YouTube channel. Go check out Conscious Contact. He's in the live stream. Type in on YouTube, Conscious Contact. Go watch his newest video. It's so good. He's so cool. So thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate that, Rashim. So let's go ahead and talk about ADA here a little bit. So ADA is not ADA, Casper, but we're going to compare it to ADA. My bad. There we go. So what I want to show you guys here is when coins get added to exchanges and they're early on in their cycle, a lot of times they dump off and people don't expect it. People think, oh, it's getting added to the exchange. It's just going to pump forever. Sometimes they have initial pump like this. You can see Casper pumped initially, where it pumped really hard, then it pulled back, right? But most of the time, a lot of times if they get added to exchanges and a bear market just started, like the example of Casper here, they're just going to dump, right? They're not going to pump. And Casper got added to these exchanges early on, and it was right as a bear market was starting, so you can see this crash happened. So this is a fractal. Okay, we have ADA over here on the right and Casper over here on the left. A lot of people sold ADA in March 2020 during the COVID dip. They sold the bottom. Well, listen, you guys. That's the exact same thing a lot of people are doing with a lot of different coins that look like Casper right now. Because there's a lot of them that look like Casper. They're panic selling just like they were in March of 2020. And this fractal of human psychology is repeating all over again here. A lot of people are selling Casper. Oh, it's going to go lower. Time to panic sell. We failed support. That's exactly what Cardano did right before it mooned. People worship support and resistance levels, and little do they understand, most of the time it's a false breakdown. If you fall below a support level, it's probably going to break right back up above it and start taking off. So you can't worship that line. Understand that Casper failed support right here. ADA failed support right before this happened. Right before the bull market happened. All right, so don't get fearful on a lot of these coins like Casper that look like Casper here on the bigger time frame. If you have a coin that looks like Casper, or maybe you're holding Casper, don't be fearful. This is a common accumulation pattern before a big breakout. People panic sell at bottoms all the time, and they don't understand accumulation, and they don't understand rounded bottoms, and they make a lot of bad decisions for it. But Casper is getting ready to turn around. I think it's getting ready to do the same thing that ADA did here in 2021 and 2020 as it started to recover after the COVID drop. See, this was a black swan event, COVID. This was also a black swan event. People were scared of war. People were scared of a whole bunch of different reasons. They panic sold their crypto. Little do they know, it's going to skyrocket. So don't be that guy, okay? Don't panic sell. Pygos. All you had to do was buy Caspa in 2021 or in 2022 or even 2023. Even if you buy it right now, I still expect a 10 to 20x. Yeah, first of all, thanks for tuning in, Pygos. I appreciate you taking a minute to tune into the stream. And yeah, I do think that Caspa will do very, very good. Caspa is a great example of a powerful, powerful uptrend. Okay, look at this uptrend. If you want to talk about the trend is your friend, higher highs, higher lows, this thing is showing strength. It's leading the market. This is a great example of everything that technical analysis is all about. Buying these early trends, buying before they have the big blow off top and parabolic run. I think Caspa could do 10x from here. Easy. This is a really good setup. People don't understand that the trend is their friend. They're scared to ape into stuff. But a lot of times people that ape into things, if you ape in early, you're going to make a lot of money. Of course, beware of FOMO. But right now, again, market sentiment is, there we go. Right now, again, market sentiment is generally fearful. And yet the markets are showing so many reasons to be bullish. It's ridiculous. Like, pros know what's going on. That's all I'm going to say. So tell us your thoughts on BCOIN. Okay, I'll do that. Let's check out BCOIN. I've never heard of this coin before. It's on Binance at least, right? So there's something. Okay, so this looks like an ABC correction. Down here we have an ABC correction where we have A, B, and C wave. Then we have some sideways accumulation. We do have a little bit of volume here. It looks like it must be a fairly low market cap coin because you can see all these big wicks, all this crazy volatility, probably low market cap. I've never looked at this coin before. Now, again, the rest of the markets are going to follow Bitcoin. So as Bitcoin continues to break out, I would not be at all surprised to see a double bottom kind of structure here and some higher highs and higher lows on Bell. So that'd be my analysis for BCOIN. I do think we will probably break local resistance here. It's definitely on major support. And yeah, I've seen similar ABC corrections with sideways accumulation before they start making higher highs and higher lows before. So it definitely could turn around right here. Bell's coin with an S. Okay, I have no idea what that is. Bell's coin. It's not showing up on any of the tickers, so I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to do analysis for that one for you. And you know what? Pulse chain guy, like, I'm not going to do analysis for you. Do I think it could go up and follow the rest of the markets? Yes. Do I want to make any content about Pulse chain? No. Or PulseX or anything associated with it. So sorry, but it's not something I want to do. So VeChain. All right, let's do some VeChain analysis. VeChain is pretty promoted by big people. It's on a lot of different exchanges. It's promoted by a lot of big things like UFC and a lot of different places. You'll see VeChain ads. This does look a lot like Bitcoin in 2015 to me. Like, a lot of coins do look like Bitcoin in 2015. That's why I think we're going to have like a 2017 like bull run again. Because if you look, a lot of these altcoins are pretty much, it's a lot like buying Bitcoin in 2015, where you have a big parabolic run up and a big market cycle crash came afterwards, a big ABC correction. Then they went sideways, just like Bitcoin in 2015, in preparation for a bigger picture reversal. Now, are you going to be able to convince most people of this? No, probably not. Most people are probably going to call you crazy. Most people are probably going to be like, you're so dumb for buying crypto after it popped in 2021. You guys are dumb. But most people don't make a bunch of money. Most people don't get rich, right? Most people just live average lives. So don't be most people. If you want to get rich, don't be most people. Do what other people are not doing. And the structure, the similarities between the structure of a lot of altcoins in 2016, a lot of altcoins today and Bitcoin in 2016 and 2015 and 2014 and 2013, where it made this cycle here, the structure is the same. And I think we're getting ready for a 2017 like bull run on a lot of coins. And it's going to be bigger than people think. The mass adoption phase is starting for crypto. Will it last forever? No. Do I think it's going to be bigger than most people think? Yes. So that would be my response. I do think VeChain is quite bullish here. There's even a little flag structure, a little kind of a bullish flag right here. So watch for a breakout of the resistance of that flag, and that should take us up to a new local high for sure. All right, we've got this local high at 0.5 cents. We break bullish to that flag, and I think we'll definitely go to a new local high. And in the bigger picture, we could be ready for a pretty big move here on a lot of coins. The market's undervalued. So a lot of stuff is undervalued. Bell's coin is a fork of Litecoin, and Doge was forked from it. Yeah, I don't know anything about Bell's coin. I can't find it when I look for the ticker. I wish I could. I'd do analysis for you, but I can't find it. So I already did Velo at the beginning of the stream, Oliver. So go back and watch the beginning of the stream, because I did do Velo already at the beginning of the stream. What do I think about Litecoin? You know, that's a good question. Wish I could tell you. I think Litecoin's going to obviously do good. I mean, just because it's pumped in every cycle. And this cycle is going to be bigger than the last two cycles. I firmly believe that. So I do think Litecoin could have even a bigger run than it had the last two cycles. But I don't think it's going to be like some massive leader in the market. It hasn't shown like tons of strength. It's not one that I'd put like a ton of money into. It really hasn't shown a lot of strength. It could. I do think it's going to do good. Like it's a big name and everything. And if you look at the Bitcoin pair, like if it's on Coinbase, a lot of different places. If you look at the Bitcoin pair, like this thing at some point is going to have a run. This is a huge accumulation pattern on the Bitcoin pair. Altcoin season is coming. I don't think Litecoin is going to be left behind. A lot of stuff is going to start picking up. Litecoin, I think, will pick up too. It could be bigger than people suspect. It hasn't shown a lot of strength early on in the cycle yet, but that doesn't mean it can't see a big breakout. So watch that falling wedge pattern here on Litecoin, on the Bitcoin pair, and also watch for a double bottom on the dollar pair, because there is a potential double bottom pattern forming here on the dollar pair. We do have an ABC correction. This is just like the V-chain chart in a lot of ways, right? You have, now I'm a little bit more bullish on V-chain, but I think Litecoin could do really good too. So you can see we have a double bottom here, double bottom, sideways accumulation. So if we break bullish out of this, it's going to look a lot like 2015 Bitcoin breaking out in 2016, where Bitcoin started to see its reversal, started to bottom out, and started to make a new market cycle. You can see the similarities between these two charts are very profound. Both have ABC corrections, both have that accumulation in the center here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a bullish breakout on Litecoin just like what we saw on Bitcoin. So I think it's going to do good. Again, a lot of people are too bearish. A lot of people, because of the 2021 run and because of the 2017 run, everybody's married this stupid 4-year cycle idea. And to be honest with you guys, I don't believe in the 4-year cycle. All right? Like, we've had 2 4-year cycles, but that does not mean that we're going to continue to just perfectly have 4-year cycles for the rest of all time and eternity. All right? Like, that's a ridiculous idea. Okay? We're headed into the institutional phase. Crypto is a lot more like after the internet bubble, where the internet headed into mass adoption and actually we're breaking out of the institutional accumulation phase into mass adoption. Now, I don't think that's just going to end after a year. This cycle is going to be bigger. We're headed into mass adoption. All right? So don't marry 4-year cycles. It's a myth. It's a myth, and you're going to see it get busted. You're going to see the 4-year cycle stop working. Everybody's going to try to sell the top based on 4-year cycles, and they're going to beat themselves up for it for the rest of their lives. Period. We're headed into the mass adoption phase. And I do think Litecoin will do good during the mass adoption phase. Okay? So that's my answer. Thoughts on BAT and ZRX? Yeah, we'll do BAT. Probably not ZRX. I've gone 7 minutes over an hour. So I probably can't do crazy long today. But yeah, we'll do BAT. We'll do BAT. I do think that, again, people are too bearish right now. You can see the last time I did analysis on this, I drew an ABC correction down. Our C wave went a little bit lower here, so we'll move that. But yeah, basically we have 5 waves up in an ABC. A lot of coins look like this. This looks like Digibyte in a lot of ways. A similar kind of structure as Digibyte. Again, this is a big accumulation pattern. People don't expect a big bull market, but in a bull market, a lot of things are going to go crazy high, unless there's some crazy thing that the coin doesn't exist anymore, like developers just dump, or the company gets sued and they don't exist anymore. Something like that, right? That stuff can happen to these coins. They're not exempt. They're not like invincible. Not every coin is just going to pump through the bull market. But a lot of them will, because in a bull market, and especially in a raging bull market, both in the world markets and in crypto, where we're just printing money quicker than the entire planet even knows what to do with it, as the money printer goes like that meme that everybody posts, stuff is going to go up. You don't want to be in the dollar, right? You want to be capitalizing on the market gain, or the market conditions, because the gains are ridiculously high. And we have perfect market conditions for just insane profit. Insane profit. Do I think BAT will be left behind? Heck no. I think this thing will probably do a good little run. Will it be a leader in the market? Time will tell, right? But it probably won't get left behind. So watch for that. Now, of course, you guys, I don't want to try to pretend like I'm just putting music in your ears all the time. Go find the best setups you can. If If you want to learn how to find the best setups, apply for the mastermind program. Link in the description box below. Apply for my mastermind. All right? Get coaching from me and learn how to do this stuff so you can find the best setups. And if you're in the Discord, if you're already one of my VIP members, huge shout out to you. You guys are awesome. You're like the coolest people ever. Seriously. So you guys already know. I released my 50X list. I've got a 100X list for the mastermind and one-on-one members. Apply for the mastermind below. Okay? But yeah, there's a lot of good setups out there. Another good one to look at is Carrot. It has the potential of doing an AXS of this cycle because they were listed on Coinbase on day 1. Carrot. All right, let's do some Carrot analysis. Okay. So we do have a really nice kind of wedge structure here on Carrot, and it looks really undervalued too. You can see people probably don't have a lot of interest in it because, again, most people don't find the good setups before they pump. Why? Because they're always focused on FOMO buying and stuff. But the pros probably do have interest in this, and the people that know what they're talking about probably do. I haven't actually seen this chart before, so thank you for letting me know about this one, but I do see a nice wedge structure here, and we're starting to see increasing volume on the breakout. Not a lot yet, but I bet we do get a lot more volume as we turn around here. And we also have kind of an ABC correction here too. You can see wave A, wave B, and wave C. So we've got multiple different patterns that I'd be, are leaning bullish here. And I do think we will get a pretty big breakout of this wedge. We broke bullish out of it. I bet we see a lot more momentum come into this market and start to turn around and really, blow people away. I think that Bitcoin is going to blow people away. I think that this coin can easily start to see a big picture reversal here on the daily. And yeah, that looks good, man. That looks really good. So, ETH just broke 2,800. It's so fun to do live streams when people are all panic selling and they're all scared when they should be buying the dip. Because the markets always just start breaking resistance levels that everybody was expecting to reject at, right? Again, people were too bullish at the beginning of the summer. I let you guys know I was bearish on Ethereum to 2,300. And look, it fell right down to 23, like perfectly. ABC correction. I did buy support right here at 29. So I did start getting a little excited buying a little bit early, but then I added on down here. I knew people were too bullish up here. The ETF approval, all the FOMO, we were overextended. We needed to pull back, right? So that correction was really, really fun to play that correction. And I do think we're going to have a lot more upside on Ethereum. Go watch the beginning of my live stream if you want Ethereum analysis. Okay. Okay, so we're done doing crypto coins today, doing analysis for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to play one song on my guitar because it's kind of tradition at this point. I always get requested by somebody. I didn't see any requests today, but normally I do. Somebody's like, "Hey, Dallin, play your guitar for us." So we'll follow with tradition, and we'll play a little bit of guitar here. And, we're going to play Here Comes the Moon, my version of Here Comes the Sun. I've played this the last couple streams, but it's just so fire. It's just such a perfect song to be playing right now because a lot of people are bearish and they don't know that a moon is coming, a big moon in the markets, which is just a silly term we use for a big pump. This is a cover of Here Comes the Sun. Here comes the moon, do-do-do-do. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold crypto winter. Little darling, it feels like years since a bull market was here. Here comes the moon, do-do-do-do. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Little darling, the gains are returning to our portfolios. Little darling, it seems like years since I made 100x. Here comes the moon. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Moon, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel the sentiment slowly shifting. Little darling, it feels like years since altcoin season was here. Here comes the moon, do-do-do-do. Here comes the moon, and I say, it's alright. Here comes the moon, baby, so don't you dare forget it, and don't you dare panic sell, and don't you dare be a bear right now. Don't you dare be a perma bear, because I know a lot of people are bears. They don't see what's coming. You guys, you can get rich on crypto. Like, the opportunity is here to get rich. I'm serious. Like, normal everyday people, even people starting with little amounts, like small amounts, can get rich in crypto. Like, where else are you going to find that? So look at it as opportunity. Be thankful for the opportunity. Keep a good mindset. You guys can do this. I believe in you. I've seen so many of my students get rich. It's crazy. You know, like even one of my best friends, Donovan, he made millions, over $2 million, after I taught him about market cycles and trading, and he teaches other people too. You know, like, you guys, you can get rich in crypto. My first female millionaire student happened in 2021. She didn't have a lot of money to start with. You guys can get rich. The opportunity's here. So here comes the moon. You better believe it. Get ready for big things coming in crypto. And don't you dare panic sell. Buy the dip, you guys. All right? Whatever, blah, 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 not financial advice, whatever I got to say. Buy the dip, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future live streams. As always, stay profitable out there.